So I got asked if I have a build list of my truck, and the answer was no. So here's the start. We're going to try to go from one end to the other. Hopefully I don't jump around too much. So obviously it's an S10, 1998 S10. I bought it as a 2.2 liter automatic. I bought this 6 liter from a guy on Marketplace. Said that it ran and drove when he pulled it out. He neglected to tell me that it sat on its side for 2 years in his shop and the cylinder wells had pitting. So I had to send it to the machine shop. Machine shop, Golden Engine Services, Hudson, New Hampshire. He went all through it and it ended up coming back as a 6.2 liter. So now I have a 2004 LQ4 that's been bored to a 6.2 liter. The heads were all done, 3-angle valve job done up there. It's running BTR titanium valve springs, retainers, still stock rocker arms, trick flow chromoly push rods, stock diameter, but chromoly push rods. It's running stock GM coils with now Excel ceramic booted plug wires. It was a Holley Brawler 750 carburetor, but as you can see, I am switching it over to a Fuel Tech fuel injection system. Stock accessories, the only difference is I am running a 1500 power steering pump that only has 2 lines, a feed and a return. It is really close to my power steering gear down there. The kit that I used is a Transdap LS swap kit. Do yourself a favor. There are better ones out there. The headers aren't bad. They fit right through the steering shaft down there, but it is a pain in the butt to change plugs. So we're going to go away from that. Transmission pan is not bad, but it has no fuel pump pickup or fuel filter housing. So I have a relocated fuel filter housing. If you want to do something easy, you can get a Colorado with a 5.3 liter or a Hummer H3 that had the 5.3 liter. Get the oil pan for that. It'll fit over the cross member and it has the fuel filter housing in it. Currently has a Superior LS S10 swap radiator with dual fans. And I'm going away from it. This is my second one in 2 years. First one lasted a year. This is number 2, lasted a year. Great design. Excellent design. Just the materials he used sucks, or he can't weld. It keeps leaking right at the fitting, right where the fins tubes meet the core. Keeps leaking there. So I am going over to a Griffin S10 V8 radiator with dual fans. Stock battery location, I just converted my post to top mount. I am running the catch can system for the vent on the valve covers. I have relocated my coolant reservoir, but for a while I was running the stock reservoir. For the first year, stock reservoir was in it. That is the stock booster with master cylinder. I just deleted the ABS and had the guy across the street make me a bracket to mount my adjustable proportion valve. Now, there is a smaller booster you can bolt into these. It's out of like a 2000 Chevy Cavalier with a 2.4 liter. The booster is actually smaller diameter, and you can put the coil that I have relocated back there, you can put the coil on the valve cover. So that is going to happen sometime before this thing rolls out in the spring. It's using a stock fuse box. I just cut everything that I did not need out of it. ECM ECU has been cut out of it because it currently is running MSD box. So I believe that is it on the front. We'll move to the inside. So, excuse me, like I said, I'm doing paint and body work currently. So, inside, stock interior. I do have some gauges mounted here, and I have a gauge mounted over there with the tack up there. That is going to all disappear because, like I said, I'm switching to an FI Tech, so I will have a little handheld readout. I'm running the B&M shifter that connects to my street strip fully manual valve body turbo 400. Other than that, it is stock in here. Besides, I took the heater box and everything behind the dash out, and I am mounted my MSD in here. So, got a little updated radio with some updated speakers because it's a street truck. Got to have some audio. Has a custom 3-inch drive shaft that connects to my Turbo 400. Rear end is stock. Well, stock housing. I have upgraded gears. I have an Eaton True Track carrier in it. All new bearings. Mosier chromoly axles. It has a Yukon gear front yoke with a Proform Perfect Launch anti-flex cover, so it doesn't allow the carrier to shake back and forth. Richmond 355 gears in it. It's still stock. Rear drum brakes. The e-brake and everything does work. I'm currently converting it to a fuel cell. And like I said, this is going to be the pre-filter and the electric pump for the EFI. So going with the fuel cell, we're going to cut a little hole in the bed so I can fill it up, but it's going to mount under there. Brakes are, like I said, they're stock rear brakes. Front brakes are S10 Blazer front brakes. So I put S10 Blazer spindles with an S10 Blazer hub assembly. Gives you a larger diameter rotor and a 2-piston caliper. I did have to shim the or use a wheel spacer to get it away from the caliper, but if you run a 16-inch or larger wheel, you're not going to have that problem. But these are 15s. That's why I have to shim it out a little bit. I do plan on switching it to a 17, but right now it's a 15-inch weld ProStar. Same with the back. They're right there for the winter, but it's a 15-inch weld ProStar with a Nito NT 555 R2 tire. Great tires. I run them on the street and I use them at the track. Let's see. Exhaust currently exits right here, but now that the gas tank is out of the way, I'm going to have a full exhaust that's going to come out underneath the rear bumper. So, she has a full CalTrack system in it. So the split mono leaves with the CalTrack bars and the 9-way adjustable shocks. Although the 9-way adjustable shocks are sitting right there because I was having issues getting it to squat. Come to find out it was more of the front end versus the back end. But so right now it's just got some stock G-body soft shocks in them. We'll probably put those back on now that we figured out that the issue was the front not coming up versus the back not transferring. So other than that, stock fleet side bed. We did do a little trick with the gas door. So the gas door is now going to be my fuel shut or my battery shut off. So you open the gas door, you can shut the battery off. That's street use only. When I go to the track, I have a tail light that I'm going to mount, because the battery is going to be mounted right here. I'm going to have a taillight mounted up there, because the track says you have to have one working red light. Technically, I'm going to have two. I'm going to have the driver's side and the third brake light, because that still works. But I have a taillight mounted with the shut-off switch there, and we'll just disconnect the one that I'm going to have on the gas door. Easy way to do it is just run grounds. Don't try to run power to a shutoff. Run a ground to a shutoff. So that way, if it fails, it's just grounding itself out. It's not sending power down your chassis or somewhere else that you don't want it to go. You just have a ground problem. Okay? I believe that's about it. So yeah, 6.2 liter LS S10 with a turbo 400 manual valve body. It is a slightly built motor. It is does have nitrous flat top pistons in it. Stock crank, stock rods, just pistons. And engine builder says that that's all I need to be able to handle a 200 shot of nitrous, which is what I want to put on it. So it has gone to the track. It went to the track last year with the old setup. It ran a 12.9. Obviously, we're upgrading things, doing paint and body work, getting the suspension to actually work and travel. I'm hoping to get sub 12 seconds. So, but that's it for the walk around update for 2024. If you have any questions, let me know. I am definitely glad to answer any questions, give you any insight you might want. You know, why I did this versus that. A lot of people, well, why don't you just stick with the stock intake and the fuel injection? I didn't have one. I had a block and two heads. So everything you see here, I had to buy. Intake and a carburetor with an MSD box was cheaper than a full standalone ECU, having someone tune it, and then them start my truck for me for the first time, versus I put this in, I set the parameter on the MSD box, and started my truck myself. So, yeah, that's it. All right, bye.